Hello everybody, this is Gregory with how I lost over 100 pounds and I've kept it off for 30 plus years. But there should be no hesitance in your weight loss and weight maintenance. Today we're going to talk about a very important thing, which is negativistic thinking. Now before we begin, if you need help with weight loss, contact me through the Clarity FM link found here in the episode notes. Also in the episode notes you'll see links to my courses, my podcasts, my books, and if you appreciate my content, please hit the like button right now, and there is a link for PayPal if you'd like to make a small donation. This is a major problem, I think, with people who are overweight or need to lose weight. It's the negativistic thinking. And I think a lot of people who grew up with a normal childhood or a normal relationship with food can't relate to this. See, when you grow up being told that you're a horrible piece of crap, or that you won't amount to anything, or the equivalent of that, which is being cussed at, yelled at, berated, neglected, abused, whatever it is. You don't have to be expressly communicated that you're a horrible piece of crap. It can be done through actions. But when you have this childhood, in addition to probably ending up having a disordered relationship with food or other things, if this is like ground zero or base level normal, we're all down here in terms of self-esteem, if not down here. So when regular people or people had a normal childhood, they're like at zero. And so when they have negative things happen, they go down for a little while. But then they go back up because they know, oh, well, I'm a good person. And then when the good things happen, they're up here. A lot of people who are overweight, especially in their formative years, they have negativistic thinking because they just hear the echoes in their head of whoever told them you're a horrible piece of crap, or whoever abused you. And I talk about this quite a bit in Confessions of an Obese Child. I went through all this. So we're always like at a -2, -3. That's our baseline. And so when anything negative happens, we go low. We go lower and lower and lower. And it just triggers that you're a horrible piece of crap mindset, that negative thinking. And then I'll tell you here, yeah, you are a horrible piece of crap. You're never going to amount to anything. You're a loser. You're a failure. You're never going to lose weight. You're never going to amount to anything. You're never going to complete this obstacle, overcome this obstacle. And then you start believing it. Yeah, I won't. Yeah, I am a horrible piece of crap. Yeah. Or yeah. And it's a self-fulfilling prophecy, isn't it? Because then after you drink or after you binge eat or whatever you did, then you feel horrible. Then you self-loathe. I knew it. I was a horrible piece of crap. I knew it. You see people like who go on benders, drinkers who go on benders go through this, or drug addicts. I knew it. I knew I'm a horrible piece of crap. And it's all this negativistic thinking. It's exceedingly hard to get that out of your system. That's why something like cognitive behavioral therapy is probably the most effective thing, because that's the quickest therapy, and it's also the therapy that makes you change your thought process. When things happen, negative things happen, you learn to change the thought process so you don't feel negative about those things. But it is a major problem with obese people. It's a major problem. That's why we turn to food to numb the pain. If we had a good view of ourselves or a good self-esteem, we wouldn't have to be turning to alcohol or drugs or food. We wouldn't. But we're already at -3 for everything. And all we need is one little criticism, or you had one bad day, or you ate one Big Mac, and then it's just like, oh, I'm a horrible crap, and then you just start binge eating, right? Well, and it's kind of like people with binge eating, like they'll eat like one donut, and then if they have one, then they'll have 8. Right? There's no balance. Because you're eating one, you're like, well, I've already had one, and then the negativistic thinking kicks in. Well, you already had one, you horrible, fat piece of crap. Then you hear, like in my case, my childhood, my father's voice telling me that. For you, it could be somebody else or another kind of like echo in your mind. Then you hear that, and then you're wolfing down the 8 donuts. So what do we have to do? We have to just understand some basic things. I have that episode on how faith is important in your life, especially for weight loss. And we have to understand that we're children of God. God loves us. God is love, as is mentioned in the first epistle of John. We have to remember Matthew 6, the do not be anxious discourse. We are loved by God. We are not horrible pieces of crap. We will struggle. We all have demons of different sorts in us. For a lot of people with weight issues, it's going to be food and maybe alcohol. And I mentioned in that first episode, the number one thing you must do to lose weight. We got to change the paradigm. Part of that is going to the source of the trauma. And part of that is getting rid of that negativistic thinking that you're a horrible piece of crap, because you're not. And I can tell it to you 1,000 times and you won't believe it. Just like when people would tell me that my father, when he was drunk, saying those things is not true. You hear it your whole life. It's so ingrained, and part of you even wants to believe it, because by believing it, then it gives you carte blanche to do self-destructive things. So we got to do the deep work, as I mention all the time. Got to get to the source. It's like in Lord of the Rings when Frodo throws the ring. You got to get to the source where you have to throw it in. If not, all you're doing is whack-a-mole. Like the episode we did on 10 things to stop stress eating, or calorie in, calorie out, or all these things. It's just doing the whack-a-mole. One thing comes up, you knock it down, but you're never making really any progress, because we're not going to the root cause. And one of the root causes is to stop the negativistic thinking, that as soon as you mess up, do something wrong, not just in eating, but it could be at work or relationships, as soon as you do something wrong, it kicks in. You're horrible, horrible. You want to self-flagellate, right? Self-flagellate, punish yourself. Brothers and sisters, that doesn't lead to anything constructive or beneficial. We know this intellectually, but we really have to know it here. And that takes work. But the first step is recognizing it. Guys, post in the comments. Let me know if you can relate to this. Hit the notification, subscribe, and share button. Until next time, take care, God bless, and pray.